last we left off, we were heading toward the castle in Rexentrum, which were hosting the peace talks. You guys were actually making your way into the castle proper, as that is at the center of the city of this, the largest city in all of Wildmount, hosting about 250,000 in population, which should have no immediate cause of dread or anything like that. But outside of the city walls, you've got multiple armies present. The Clovis Concord, the current dynasty, obviously the Dwendalian Empire has their own troops here, and as well as the Graying Wildlands are hosting their troops out. Kind of, as you guys walk through it, a bit of a tense situation. But nonetheless, you guys are at the entering the castle proper, at least the perimeter of it. You're approaching these large gates now to get to the castle itself, and kind of detach yourself from the main city. Before you guys got to this point, there was a little espionage mission going on beneath the sewers with Runeberg, as he sent, what is Runeberg's counterpart called again?
We're gonna say just Faubourg for now, but
Faubourg.
you know he likes to pick up whatever terrain he's being used from.
Yeah, I want to make sure I get his. I want to make sure I get him right. So Faubourg, as I almost just butchered it there, Faubourg was beneath the sewers, like kind of directly underneath you, as you had gotten some schematics um, from the. Oh boy.
Cobalt Soul?
Thank you, the Cobalt Soul. Almost a Clovis Concord. Yes, the Cobalt Soul. As you got schematics for the from the Cobalt Soul, and what he had discovered, what Faubourg discovered, was that there were troops down there, and there were troops not only kind of patrolling, but they were moving toward a target. And the last thing that you heard was, "We found it," as Faubourg was stabbed in the chest and poofed out. So, with that, you guys are at
Definitely can't say that.
Excuse me?
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you guys are now approaching the main gate. You guys have your, I believe, your attire on that disguises you as Cobalt Soul members. Let's also point out that there is kind of this patch that symbolizes that you are members of the Cobalt Soul with your uniform. Yes. So, as you guys begin to approach, you start to see some guards that are stationed at the gate, and then you see some guards that are kind of looking through the lines as they're kind of bobbing and weaving throughout the line of people who are going. And you see several people, or there's about a dozen guards going through the lines. You see several people get pushed out of the line and immediately kind of start to bruise them up as they begin to flee off in a different direction. But right now you're about, let's say, 10 people away from the gates, and guards are approaching you all. What are you doing right now?
Is that the gates to the castle?
Yeah, to the castle proper.
Where
Okay.
the actual peace
Yeah.
talks are happening.
Peace talks.
Okay.
Would Greymore know that Rhea is gonna be at the peace talks?
Yeah, she is one of the willing participants. She called these peace talks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greymore would remind the group about his. Actually, I don't know if I told the group.
You did.
I did. Okay.
Yeah.
He would remind the group about the whole therapy session with Rhea being able to control me. And I would make it an emphasis to say that I will stay outside the castle peace talk general area. So I cannot be controlled by Rhea.
Is there a big courtyard between the gates and the castle, or is it pretty like
No,
close?
certainly. There's, imagine like a wall within a wall. You've got the walled off part that has the castle in the middle, and then there's the courtyard, but the castle's, a little bit further in.
So it's not like the old school medieval time castle where everything's on top of each other.
Yeah, it's not like a drawbridge, and then you're just in the castle immediately. Once you get past these gates, you're in the castle walls, but you've got courtyard outside before actually going into the building itself.
Got it.
I think that this would be an entirely reasonable time to maybe try on our other accents, since we are inside the castle walls, and I hope that we are not currently being listened to, even though I'm sure we are. But I knowing what we know now from Runeberg, I'm not sure that maybe going inside is the best idea. I do not know if that's in our best interest at this current and I don't feel as though we are safe. If we continue further.
Do we want to try to get through the gates first, and then we can kind of decide?
I would not.
Or no?
I wouldn't want to be stuck inside of anywhere with anyone. With Rhea, if things were to happen, if we are getting into the castle and then the gate shuts, then what are we going to do when it shuts?
I feel like we must go forward, Phoebe.
We don't have to do anything. You can exit the line at any point in time. I just feel as though maybe perhaps we are a little bit too close to the nexus point of current activities.
For the gate,
Mhm.
how would it shut?
Just imagine two medieval gates that open largely
So
out
it's
along
open.
along the perimeter itself. You do see that there are archers along the perimeter of the castle proper itself too, or the walls
So
of the castle.
so it's more of a barn door than a gate shutting down from the top.
Yes, not straight
Okay.
down. Yes, yeah.
What side are the hinges on?
Yes, that's a very good question. They open out, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
The largest hinges you've ever seen are on this door.
When walking by, do we see like latches on the gate that would hold like a wooden bar to keep it closed?
Not
Or is this like
not from
pretty
your
safe
side.
area? Okay.
Once you enter, you could look back at the doors and see if there's some locking mechanism, which you're sure there is.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't on the outside.
Question, because I'm having trouble remembering exactly from the end of the last session. Jace's magic, he wasn't able to send anything. Is that correct?
Yeah,
And
that's a good point. There's this kind of gray mist that looms over Rexentrum right now, and you guys did test your magic, and it did not work last you checked. And Galileo, if I could point something out, on your interface, if you will, you've set a timer for when these peace talks are to begin, and that reads about 2 minutes from now.
Oh, we're I think we're out of time for debate. I think we must go if we're going, or we're not going.
And you guys are now currently, as you're walking and talking, you are toward the front now, and you've got a couple guards that approach your group, state your business, and you see this large orc that looms over.
Damn, I was gonna tell Raj to say something for us since I'm pushing him in the wheelchair.
Well,
I would probably just put a hand on, like, Jace's arm and just kind of say, can we have a word for a minute? We just might be a minute late, if that's okay. With everyone, and kind of, like, try to get the group to, before we walk in, just to kind of stand to the side.
Jace looks to the orc and says, just a moment, and turns your group to the side. And you do hear gates closing. A few minutes.
okay.
If no one's magic is working, then I don't think we have any choice but to stay outside of the gate. If we go in there, we're stuck.
We're fucked. So, what? As much as I would love to know what's going on inside of the gate, and as much as I would love to see exactly what's happening, if we can't do anything magically, then we've got nothing.
Can I while we're kind of like outside of the gate, can I grab out my sorry. Can I grab out it's just like sorry, Chris is just having one of those days where nothing's going right and he pops his beer can and it doesn't actually open.
Fuck! No!
Sorry.
It happens.
That's great. Can I grab out my book of betrayer gods and prime deities and kind of I'm trying to figure out, so we know that the only two obelisks that are not in use right now are the Chained Oblivion and Asmodeus. But I'm trying to figure out if we have any idea who the opposite is. Because what I'm trying to figure out is Sylvie's trying to like now rack her brain to find ways to stop this, if there's any way to block that gate. But I'm trying to figure out if I can, if we know what vestige we would need to block either one of them if we even have a chance.
How before you get to that, how high are the walls?
So not even of the castle, but of the walls.
Wall,
around
like
the
where the
castle.
gate, like the gate to
Yeah,
like if I wanted to climb it.
You're probably looking at 20 feet. And then the castle itself seems to be even looms higher. Like you can see the castle over top.
I can. I don't know how to do it in a.
Well,
Come back to me.
Yeah, to answer your question, Sylvie, give me a religion check here.
Okay.
Or an intelligence, if you wanted to just leave it at that, but religion probably better.
They're the same. Nope. Nice average 10. That's what we needed.
So I'll give you one of them. A 10's not bad. Obviously, the one that comes to mind is the Dawnfather being opposite that of Asmodeus.
Okay, perfect. Thank
And
you.
then you think, do you have the vestiges to even? Yeah.
Sure don't.
And
Sure.
then the
sure
Chained
don't.
Oblivion, that of Chaos, that's a difficult question. So you kind of get stuck on that one.
Then kind of going through it and being like, if we need the vestige of the Dawnfather in order to have even a chance at blocking Asmodeus's obelisk, then we don't have any idea who has it. Certainly no one we know, certainly nothing that can happen now. So either we try to block. Oh no. Well,
I think we run the risk of missing the peace talks at this point.
I can always use my blood wall to make us, go at an angle to jump over the wall.
yeah.
What?
There's literally no point to us going to the peace talks, though, if an army is about to invade from underneath Rexentrum. Then we're going to be trapped in there.
If that's
with
the
Rhea.
case, then we should be warning people about the army instead of.
I can
So
start yelling now.
no, we don't need to start yelling now. I think that maybe perhaps we need to take this conversation back outside, and I think that we need to maybe get as close to the friendly armies as we can. And we need a lay of the land. We need to know which armies are outside of the gates. We need to know if the Graying Wildlands has a single post of soldiers or multiple posts all around the city. Because if it is just one versus the Clovis Conqueror, the Dwendalian Empire, and the Kryn Dynasty, then perhaps we could save the city from above. And if we can circumvent what is about to happen below and get all of the armies within the city quickly, then maybe we could prevent the most loss of life the fastest. And maybe if we can just go warn soldiers in the garb of a Cobalt Soul member and say shit's bad, then maybe that would be the best thing we can do, because we can't go in there because that is obviously a trap. We cannot go below because we do not have a vestige or any way to get one. We have the civilians and we have the armies outside the gates. And I don't mean to be steering anyone in any direction, but I feel like that might be our only direction at this point in time is out to the people who don't know something's about to go sideways.
But that's very reactionary. If we can prevent them from putting whatever, not vestige, into the obelisk, then that can be proactive instead of reactive. Because if we can prevent the army from coming through, that is going to protect the most lives.
Yes, we
So
must
we run
protect the
down
light.
there and steal the vestige?
That's
We
what-
could?
That sounds like a rogue mission if I've ever heard one.
I should like to wheel Raj there.
No magic
We
is working
could.
right now. We got no magic.
Oh, I don't know. Can I do anything? I guess I'll cast some kind of cantrip.
I mean, I could always try a blood wall, but I don't want to scare anybody with that.
I think that might be quite scary.
Can I? Never mind.
I want to be tough and earthbend a blood wall.
Sick.
I'm gonna run Raj in the wheelchair as fast as I can against the soldiers. I'm just kidding.
So two things. Sylvie, as you were finishing up looking through the book quickly, and you kind of found the one that you needed to, Jace kind of grabbed the book from you, and while you were having that conversation, flipping through some pages, and he points, Lawbearer, Arathis. That would be the counter to the Chained Oblivion. Law and order, chaos makes sense to me. Second thing, Raj. It's about this time that as you're sitting in the chair, a voice creeps into your head. You may find someone here whom was a former champion of mine. I need you to deliver a message if you find her.
But of course. Can you give me a description?
Now, she's going to describe Cygnus. I don't know exactly how Cygnus would dress going to peace talks, but if Lindsay, you want to describe how Cygnus would be. And by the way, I'm going to send you a text, Chris, of what she says to leave it in suspense. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So Cygnus going to peace talks, like, I think that she's trying to, like, Victor and Cygnus both, like, they're just kind of there to be looky-loos and to be nosy and to include themselves in something that they weren't supposed to be included in, and just kind of her, like, a very high-collared, like, purple, like, not a cloak blazer, but it's basically like a cloak, but there are arm slits in it. It is, like, lined with silver. I think that as Cygnus has aged, like, her black hair is cut into, like, a very short black bob, and it's kind of, like, graying at the temples, and so she's got these gray streaks, and then her eyes are still black with the stars spinning in them, but just, like, very sharp, very, like regal. And I think that I discussed this with you, mans, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, like, as Cygnus is, like, leveled through being a cleric and being an Isomar, behind her head is now, like, you know how if you catch dust in a shaft of light, you can see it, but without the shaft of light, it's not there? There's, like, this very faint halo of stars behind her head.
Sick.
So very tall, not tall, yeah, because she is tall. She's very gangly and still, as she has aged, like, still, like, tall and kind of, like, an awkwardly long neck and awkwardly, like, long arms, and just, like, as regal as possible, I think, is the best word.
And while we're at it, what would Victor look like at these peace talks?
He'd still be wearing, like, a centennial version, aged, of his original bespoke clothing that he's made himself. It's just, it's gone through, it's fashion, so it's gone through a couple cycles. There was a little, like, formal. It was a little like steampunk there. There was an embarrassing age where it was a little like, 80s, but now it's like, very modern, contemporary. The same type of white, purple clothing, fine clothes. When he wouldn't, it'd be dressed regally for the occasion since he's in town with a lot of people trying to make a good impression. He would be dressed fancy, armor on, same black horns, straight up.
That's a very good point too. Like Cygnus is still like underneath this like purple cloak. She's still wearing her like star metal plate armor. It's just hidden under the cloak, and the collar of the jacket, I've just changed it, is the collar of the plate armor. So she's just got this plated collar.
Yep.
And last question. Sorry, go ahead, Peter.
Yeah, just still distinctly asymmetric, like as it described a campaign ago, a lifetime ago.
So let me ask you guys: are you two fashionably early or always fashionably late?
We would be. I think we decided
Fashionably late, but still just kind of like arriving at the gates potentially.
After the introduction period.
Yeah, like introduced, but then distant. I guess late.
Okay.
Late.
So as you guys have moved off to the side and you hear this in your head, Raj, you see two, flanked by I believe four others that kind of move past you all at once. And it seems like they gain access and begin to move through the gate walls. And as that conversation in your head happens, you see them 100 yards, 200 yards beyond the gate, and heading toward the castle itself now, as you guys have both just missed each other.
Okay, so you just said they saw them walk in,
Yep.
or Raj did.
If you guys are fashionably late, then you six, Victor, Cygnus, and your crew would have walked in as you guys got out of line in a twist of fates there. And Galileo, on your interface, you see 60 seconds.
60 seconds, I exclaim.
Decisions now inside the castle or outside the castle. Your call.
Is there a sewer system inside the castle, like manhole?
Raj?
Yes,
What
Raj would have
What would you like to do?
all of that to Galileo, kind of like touched his hand as he was pushing him in his wheelchair and saying who we were looking for at that time.
I saw them going in. I don't think it's a good idea if I go in. I was going to go warn as many people as I could. I must protect as much light as possible.
Galileo, if I could just point out one more thing. You feel, as he points them out, you feel this sense of nostalgia as they walk by and enter the castle. And you feel almost this
Deja vu.
Like you've been there, you've been here before. And it's really like you're almost an out-of-body moment for a brief second there.
Raj, I have a very strange feeling. I don't know if it's bad or not, but the group. Yeah, I'd share what you just told me. But I must do what I can for the people here.
Jace, is there a warning system for the armies to engage? You know, like fireworks of some sort?
Certainly. What do you
Flare
have in
wouldn't
mind?
be the worst idea.
That could be a great warning that this is a trap.
Point me to it.
Do you want to leave the castle walls?
I don't think it's safe for me to go where Rhea is.
I think
In
people
fact,
want
I
to
think-
warn everybody at the same time while protecting our leaders and doing the obelisk, so I think the best thing to do is to separate, launch the warning firework, and pray to whatever god you follow.
Gray Man, would you come with me since we know you can't be with Rhea?
I would go underneath to get the obelisk.
Then I will go alone.
I do not think that going towards the obelisk is a good idea. There is nothing, unless we are going to steal the vestige from the hands of the army. That is our only option, and it's not a bad idea, but it's also not a good one.
My internal clock has just reached 58 out of 60 seconds.
You begin to hear the large gates begin to close as people are starting to
It's fine.
shout at the guards.
We still have 58 seconds. Where's the alarm system?
I'm stepping outside, so I'm not in the castle walls.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Jace, please. Please hurry.
The door's shut.
I could really use you guys in the underground.
The point's not to go to the obelisk. The point is to slow down the vestige getting to the obelisk.
And potentially secure it.
Correct.
So I'm not going to go touch the obelisk. It's to buy time for our leaders to get out for this trap and our friends to get out from this trap and save a much life. Look, I've already died several times. What's one more time?
So do we split the party?
I want to hug Gray Man after he says that.
Is anyone going in?
The doors have officially shut.
No.
Okay, okay.
So your only ways in are to climb the walls, which there are, again, it's fully guarded. This is the most powerful person, or at least castle in Wildmount, or going underground, which Faubourg/Runeberg knows at least part way to get there, although it is exceptionally dangerous.
But we know the obelisk is kind of like centered on the castle.
Seems like it.
So
wait, and we just locked ourselves out of it?
But essentially, the closest manhole is going to be closest to the obelisk right now.
Fuck.
You know at least one spot. That's where that's where Faubourg. I think Runeberg sat atop of when Faubourg went down. So yeah, you've got the valley.
But we'd have to backtrack to that spot.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, what are we waiting for?
It's less than 1,000 feet. I know that for sure.
Anybody have a strong nose to find the closest manhole to jump in?
Not since COVID.
I can guess.
should
Oh
we-
shit! No, I can't. Never mind.
You could try.
Didn't Runeberg study the
Yeah.
sewer
Map.
system?
Yeah. What do you want me to roll?
Good girl.
To remember.
History, generally.
Are you asking me? Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's do a history check.
11. Perfectly average.
Okay, and remind me.
Because I read the map of the sewer system.
Oh.
And so would I know if there is a closer way to get in and where that would lead us?
With an 11, I'm gonna say that your main focus was a point from where you were to go underground.
Before?
Yeah. So you were really focused on your own pathway as opposed to like the bigger picture of the different manholes. But you know one way.
Well, I know one way, guys.
But I would like to remind everyone, we don't have any magic. We can't... There's not much we can do.
You're like me now.
Never had it.
What's magic? All I have is blood.
Galileo and myself are pretty much useless in this fight.
Speak for yourself.
No.
I'm sounding the alarm. Where's the alarm, Jace?
There you go. You and Raj go sound the alarm.
What alarm are you talking about? Go get
The
a trumpet or
firework.
something. What?
I thought there was like an alarm system.
We
just
said
talked
there was a
about.
flare.
Most of the time, it's a bing bing with magic. You know what I mean? Also, I'm
You don't have manual flares?
This is not my city. I don't know where the flares are.
Oh mon dieu. Jeez Louise. Never had to think for yourselves before? Alright, here's what you guys are going to do. So you two, with no freaking magic, and those of you who want to actually go warn people, what you're going to do is actually go fucking warn people. So you're going to go to the goddamn gates, go find the army that's actually fucking friendly, and say, hey, something's amiss. Maybe you should keep an eye on those guys, because I don't trust them, and no one else does either. See the Cobalt Soul symbol? Trust me, and keep going and doing that. Jiminy crickets, we don't have time for this. We gotta go.
I've been saying we didn't have time.
No, you said we had 58 seconds.
Okay, exactly how much time we had.
Got it.
All right. I'm gonna go to the freaking manhole
Okay, so we've
and
got
climb in there.
Galileo, shall we go warn some people?
They'll trust a guy in a wheelchair.
Absolutely, with a nice blanket on my legs.
I'm going to push Raj. I'm going to start running with Raj away, like towards into crowds of people, like pushing him as fast as I can. I'm going to jump on the back and try to like ride
shopping
him
cart style.
as we roll. And he's the charming one, so I'm going to let him say as much as possible. I will also flare my lights and like flash them, green light, to gather the attention
Like
of
an amber
crowd
lamps.
for whatever Raj wants to say.
1 by land, 2 by sea, and you're just flashing.
Yep.
Oh my god.
How many by sewer? Is it 3?
It's
3
gotta
by
be.
sewer?
This is the Paul Revere of our time right now.
We're gonna lie though, because we need to.
Okay, so straighten this out for me. I've got at least one person, that being Sylvie, going toward the sewer. and
Oh, I already.
two going that
Yeah.
way.
I think everybody but me and Raj.
Okay, is that the? Do I have
Phoebe
that?
will help save civilians too and warn people.
I would, but I don't feel good about leaving you in the
So go
Silvers
with-
with a fucking vestige.
So go.
But I can't do anything to help you.
That's not true. You
Anyway.
can do a lot.
Civilians and meet me there. It's not forever, it's just for a little bit. I need to sneak around anyway, and so realistically I'm going to be going by myself a little forward just so I can have at least a little bit of eyes.
Sylvie, Tim,
Tem as well. This is
please
my
be
job.
careful.
Tem will
It
see.
is, but please be careful. Please. And Sylvie's gonna take off after Raj and Galileo.
Sylvie's actually going to take off towards the sewers.
Phoebe's gonna head.
Phoebe, I'm freaking
Yeah,
the
same
fuck
thing.
out.
That
No.
would be great.
We are.
By the way, I just understood what Bill has been doing. He's been stalling so that way I don't kill your characters before the Renaissance
What?
Fair.
I've been stalling.
You said 58 seconds and you
You're doing a
stood on
great
the 58
job.
seconds for more than 58 seconds. So let's
Maybe
start
the
with
blood will mark the way we went. As she's like, so you'll just hear Greymore scream that as she's running.
okay. So as let me focus on Dumb and Dumber here as they go down shopping cart style down. Let's just say that there's like a nice decline from the castle proper to the city entrance. As you guys bob and weave, give me an athletics check here as you are just cutting through traffic as quickly as you can.
For me or for Raj?
Both. You guys are on the same thing.
Man, if only like great Galileo could project things with his eyes, and as he's going down, it's just a billboard saying
Like
run.
a ramp? Oh. They're going to do a ramp because it was a decline.
Oh, I
11.
can make him a ramp.
11.
Phoebe's doing her best to
7.
keep up. Just like they don't.
11 and a
Okay.
7. Okay. And
Seven.
Phoebe,
11.
you're with them. Phoebe, you witness they are going front over. The weight Galileo leans too far forward and it looks like he's about to tip. Is there anything that you want to do to try to save them from beginning to roll down this hill?
I think that Phoebe would just do her best to like catch up and like grab Galileo's collar if she can.
Give me an athletics check here.
Okay.
It's a DC of 10. It's a low DC, but they failed with the 7 and 11.
Okay. It's gonna be close.
Oh no.
We're gonna attract so much attention.
Yeah, that's good. You want attention.
This is what we want.
7.
Yes.
Okay,
So good.
as they are, Galileo leans too far forward, becomes top heavy. They begin to roll forward. As you try to pull them back, you get whipped forward, and all three of you begin to just skid on the cobblestone for about 5-10 feet. Let's take at least a little bit of damage off of some skid.
Yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
having
Reasonable.
flashbacks of
Big.
Fig and
Rivali.
Diving down the
Volley.
stairs.
Yep.
I really wanted to die that way, by the way. That would have been just so.
So perfect.
2 points of damage for you guys as you literally just skid to a halt. And the only thing that stops you is the friction of your face, and the cobblestone eventually stops you.
Thank
But-
God we long rested or I'd have been down.
You turn back in your wheelchair. The wheel it's kind of bent a little bit. You figure you could maybe push it back into place, but if time is of the essence, what are you guys gonna do? You're still about 5 minutes away from getting to the entrance or exit.
Leave
Like
it.
the way we
Raj,
came from.
Yeah, we're leaving it.
Okay.
Leave it.
I
D'accord.
stand up, start running, and screaming, "No justice, no peace, no," and just keep
Okay.
going.
You
Okay.
you hear someone passerby says, "By the Dawnfather's will, he walks again," and you're just running past with a little glow behind you. So
So, like, that person that points at Raj, I think that, like, as she's running, like, Phoebe would, like, turn and be like, "The city is not safe, get out." Just very quietly, like, she's gonna start, like, tapping people, be like, "It's not safe, and you need to run."
I'm gonna
But-
scream, "The city is not safe. Get out!" As in as least subtle way as possible.
okay.
So
Uh,
we're not being settled.
You see that person grab their Dawnfather chain and say, "He's always with us. We're fine." I need everyone to give me performance checks here, just to see are you crazy people? Are you
I really want to sell this.
yeah? Like what are we looking at here? By the way, DC, if you fail it,
I failed it.
oh no. Let's say DC 14.
I failed it.
Oh no.
Raj.
Phoebe's
Savior.
gonna die in a real stupid way.
The King's
Great.
Guard are about to show up.
Yep.
Burn the village. You gotta burn it.
Do we have
That's exactly what we need. The
inspiration?
cops. The cops are always safe.
Oh,
I have an inspiration I have listed on my phone.
You guys are essentially yelling fire in a movie theater right now.
Would I have one or no?
If you have one, I'm sure I've given almost everyone, hopefully at least everyone, one at this point.
All right, I used it for the record. I want to roll again. I think I can do this.
Yeah, in this moment of like timelines
Nope, I failed.
diverging, yeah, you're starting to get the attention of the guard now as you're
Well,
running
thank
through the
And so,
city.
like,
Thank God
Phoebe's
you're
gonna
here,
do her
officer.
best to kind of like, I don't like. Galileo doesn't have ears to grab, but if he had one, she would like twist his ear
He has human
and
ears.
like. Okay,
can I use persuasion?
Galileo or
instead?
Raj?
Both.
Yes.
Okay. So like Phoebe would like twist their strange human ears and pull them in and be like, "We are not thinking about this and we are about to fuck up like real bad. So I think that we need to get to the gates before we make any more moves. We do not need to be yelling. If we tell people it is not dangerous, we do it quietly. Period, point blank. This is not smart. We need to get to the soldiers outside the gate. Preferably not the gate we came in, because that is where the Greying Wildlands are. Are we cool with that or not?"
Are you asking me?
Pause. Do
Wait,
you think this is not going according to plan?
no, I do not.
You're probably right.
Thank you. No, I think that we need to get to the gates first and warn the people on the armies that can come in and help first.
Okay, let's do that. I feel confused, quiet, and demure, and I defer to Phoebe's leadership.
I'm sorry for yelling, Galileo, but please, we need to do this well. There are so many lives at stake, including my sister's. And if we do it badly, we're fucked.
Real quick, Raj, what did you roll? Just so I have a full picture here before I send some stuff at you.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could use persuasion instead.
Persuasion instead of performance. You've persuaded me. That's okay with me.
Great, excellent. In that case, it's a 19.
Okay.
Not bad.
So, 2 failures and a very, very good success there. With your persuasion, I'll say right now you've only caught the attention of one guard who is now flanking you all. Not sprinting towards you, but is now moving in your direction, trying to make sure that you are not going to loiter or like hang out in a spot and just keep continuously yelling. So I presume that you guys begin to move based on what Phoebe said. You guys are going to move with intent toward the exit now, but maybe a little less
Specifically,
chaotic.
not the entrance that we came in, because that is where the Graying Wildlands
There's
armies
only
are.
one entrance into.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope.
Don't
Okay.
you like that? You see what I did there?
Feels kind of
The
counterintuitive.
DM has only
but
prepared one main entrance to this town, so there is only one main
You
entrance to this
can't
town.
access it. Why not? Because
You
Because-
you
doesn't
shall
exist.
pass through this one exit / entrance.
I feel like I'm being railroaded here. I'm just kidding.
sometimes I think we might need it.
Yeah, sometimes I
I-
definitely
yeah.
think we need it.
Tracks aren't always bad.
I love roller coasters.
See? You still have fun. So you guys head toward the exit.
Okay.
And presuming nobody's going to continue to shout, you guys make it to the exit. Out to your left immediately, if you're to walk maybe 1,000 feet and begin to like go around the wide curve of the castle, you would perhaps run into the Graying Wildlands. That's where you last saw them. If you were to go to the right, that's where the friendly armies were. So
to the right, towards the friendly armies, preferably.
okay.
Yep.
As you guys begin to run out there, again, you see encampments set up. You're probably looking at several thousand soldiers just in this immediate vicinity. What do you do?
I think that Phoebe would, not the most immediate, like a few encampments over from where the Graying Wildlands armies are. And pardon me if I'm talking too much. But a few encampments over from where the Graying Wildlands are, and just start, find someone who looks like they are in charge.
Give me a perception check here, and the group can give me a perception check here.
Okay. I can see real good, because that's a dirty 20.
17.
17, good. Galileo?
Perception for someone to find.
You're just... Yeah, and if you're not looking intently,
Oh, I get.
then you could be perceiving the broader area.
I probably would have split off a little bit from Phoebe and just tried to talk to some other people.
19.
Yeah.
19, nice. Okay, 19, 17, 21?
20.
20. Okay, 3 really good rolls. Would anyone by chance have turned and focused on the Graying Wildlands for even a moment? Like, look to the left, or would you have just immediately booked it to the right?
Just a perfunctory glance.
Okay. With a 20...
Passive perception.
Yeah, with a 20, you glance in that direction and you begin to focus on. So, you find several, looks like high-ranking soldiers having a conversation in kind of one-to-one. Are you going to interrupt their conversation?
I would, Phoebe would kind of square her shoulders in the way that she has seen Sylvie do, and clear her throat, and hope that they turn. Maybe.
After a few moments, you see a hand kind of pushing the soldiers whose back you were facing off to the side. And you see this tall human, pale skin, black hair, looks down to you, about 6.5 feet tall. 6.5 feet, sorry. 6 foot tall.
Robert Pattinson.
Ooh, that's a good one. Okay, we're going to Robert Pattinson for this one.
Sploosh.
Yeah, nice. He leans down or looks down to you and says, "Can I help you?"
Does he look like what is he wearing? Can I see what he's
Twilight.
wearing with a 20?
Yeah, you see essentially platinum armor with a sigil of the platinum dragon on his chest, and then he's got a couple of kind of ribbons that go around the side off and under his armpit, kind of showing like service that he's done.
Bonjour. I am with the Cobalt Soul, and we have an urgent message from inside the walls. Magic is no longer working. And we believe that something is going on that would be counterintuitive to peace. It is the Cobalt Soul has called for you to protect civilians. We think that there is something is going to go wrong very quickly.
We are not allowed in the city walls.
Well, that is unfortunate because would I know if the Cobalt Soul is able to pull rank in Rex Syndrome?
No, I mean the Cobalt Soul have.
Phoebe, you have to flirt with them and say, "What about under the city walls?"
The Cobalt Soul are influential, but they hold no rank over armies or anything close to that.
Okay, gotcha.
They would take your information, but what to do with it is not their call.
Killed. We have word that the army of the Graying Wildland is going to invade, and this is all a ruse. I do not know if you can act on the army that is standing closest to you, but it's going to get bad very quickly. And the Cobalt Soul is concerned for the citizens of Rexentrum.
It's about this time that, as you said, the Graying Wildlands, with your 20, you turned and saw no army there. I'm gonna come back to you in a moment. Raj, you were kind of drifting off past her. You see Phoebe connects with a couple of people. What are you focused on right now?
I was gonna go up to one of the soldiers' encampment and ask for a higher level general.
Higher level,
Like
looking
general
for a
or-
general?
Yeah, someone that has higher rank than just the grunts on the ground.
Okay. You see there's a couple of them smoking a pipe, and they say, "You think the general's out here? You think we have any generals that are on the field?" And he takes a hit of the pipe.
My one of my companions smokes a better pipe than you, but could you at least point me in the direction of their tent? Or
Why are you
what?
insulting me?
I'm just saying your flavor of smoke is not of his liking.
Take a hit, and then you can judge.
Damn, I
Sure.
wish my character breathed so I could.
Wanna get high?
Yeah, Raj wants to do like one of those like fake ones that you see in like movies where he like does like a fake drag.
The
Take a
build-
fake hit. Even as the smoke like just enters your mouth and you begin to push it back out, it is like almost like you're smoking just wood. It has the worst flavor. You can tell it's exceptionally cheap, and yeah, you get the idea that this is not great stuff. As you pass the pipe back, he says the best you could probably get is a lieutenant who is probably and points up to the tower. There's a makeshift little garrison tower, maybe about 100 feet from you.
Perfect. And what was your name, soldier?
Wendra.
Wendra. Got it.
So proud of you.
That was good.
She'll want to know.
Excellent poll.
I know. I know that's a shitty ask. but
No,
that's
ask. I gotta get better at it.
important.
Like, it probably should have been Endra, but I said Wendra, so now we're sticking with Wendra.
I think I always just had a list of 10 male names and 10 female names. It was just like this one and then cross it off.
Yeah, it's the right thing to do.
Just make a little note next to it, be like random soldier.
He's like, they've never asked for names before, so why do that?
Well, and then you kill off those characters immediately, so you don't have to recall their. Yeah.
That's correct.
Perfect.
Um,
All right, Wendra. Well, if we make it all through this, then I'm gonna personally deliver you some better smoke, and Raj is going to relay to Galileo and Phoebe that he's going off to the quarters.
No magic right now.
I'm with him.
Unless you're talking, like verbally talking.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, sounds good.
So wait, just to clarify really quick,
Mhm.
it's also not working out here.
The mist is all around you.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Raj, and I'm gonna whisper in his ear. The magic's gonna have to come from within us.
That's a
Clap your
t-shirt.
hands if you believe.
Raj feels weird. He can't tell if it's the smoke or the words.
So Galileo, you are with him, essentially just trailing with Raj, correct?
Yeah, I'm here for comedic effect.
Okay. So Galileo and Raj, as you continue to push towards the garrison tower, there's several guards at the bottom of the tower. When you get there, what are you gonna do?
Would like to approach them and say that we have important information from one of the soldiers downstairs, Wendra, for the lieutenant.
You have
Fuck, it's Windra.
you have information from Wendra?
Who's that?
Yeah, wasn't that the soldier that we just met?
May I ask, who is Wendra?
Okay, I'm going to. Am I like still concealed right now as a Cobalt Soul?
It's up to you. You can be.
I am, and I'm gonna tell Raj that there's important information to tell them about a potential edge that are these Dwendalian soldiers
Yeah.
that the Dwendalian Empire could use in negotiations with the Grey Wildlands.
You tell that to Raj or to the soldier?
No, I'll announce it to the soldiers. Actually, yeah.
Give me a persuasion check here.
I'm gonna tell Raj, and he's gonna say it.
Give me a persuasion check, Raj.
– 18.
18. Looks at both of you. I'll be right back. Begins to climb up just a 10-foot garrison tower, but climbs up. He's gone for 60 seconds or so. Panning back to Phoebe real quick. Phoebe, it just clicks in your mind that you did not see any soldiers. You did see their encampments out there, but you actually don't recall seeing any soldiers.
With me saying that to the soldier that I'm speaking to,
Mhm.
does he like register at all that the army's not there anymore? Like, hey, like this is bad.
So you're kind of around, like you're beginning to go around the curve. So from your spot, you can't see them. That's why I asked when you came out, you'd be able to see on the curve before you went around to your side. So they don't actually have eyes from this spot on that army.
And I noticed as I came outside of the gate that the encampment that the Greying Wildlands had set up isn't even there anymore. They are moving on your leaders within the castle.
Looks to.
And if you do not,
go ahead.
If you do not bow, not bow. That's not what I'm trying to say. If you are not allowed within the city because of Rexentrum, you're here for the protection of your leaders, is that correct?
Always.
They are in danger. They are in immediate and present danger.
Turns to his squad and points him in the direction of the Greying Wildlands to investigate. Panning back to Galileo and Raj. After about 60 seconds or so, you see this long white beard, old man coming down from the top of the stairs. He has a cane getting down here, but doesn't actually get to the bottom with you. Kind of stands at the top of the staircase and says, "State your purpose."
Are you ask him if he is the representative leader of the Greying Wildlands army? What's his name and rank?
Name and rank, soldier.
The name's Nimble.
That's good.
I know I don't look it.
What's his rank?
I'm sure you were in your past.
It's a nickname. Lieutenant. And your names?
Tell him that you're Raj, and
My name is Franklin, and this is my friend and close acquaintance, Gertrude.
Give me a deception check.
Okay, I mean, he's got his fucking names. Come on.
You guys asked his name.
It's 22.
Okay.
Okay.
22. Okay. Looks at
Tell
you
it-
and says, "Pleasure."
Tell
Yeah,
him
cool.
that we need to speak quickly because Gertrude is the key to leveraging the Dwendalian success against the Grey and Wildlands.
Let's go ahead and roll.
Just say it like you mean it.
That's 23.
How
I'd
so?
like Galileo to make a performance check for having Raj as his puppet.
Yeah. Hand up ass.
Yeah, it's okay. Raj is loving it. It actually feels great.
But Galileo needs to make a performance check, so throw his voice right.
Please don't make me.
Nimble says, "How so?"
Awesome.
Okay, and then as he said that to me, I will tear off my cobalt soul chest and hold open my metallic chest piece and scream, "Behold my form and see."
We're making big moves.
And here we go.
Bold moves.
Okay, so you're showing your chest. Did you open your
He's
chest?
flashing him.
Not like all the way. I'm not like fully exposed, but like, you know, like there's like obviously light and magic, and I'm of a form and composition not inorganic.
In
Is
your,
Clearly-
there light and magic?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I still exist, so you can talk about how magic doesn't work, but
so
I'm magical.
So if you're opening your chest and literally showing your light, is that what you're referring to? Okay.
Yes.
By the
My-
way, as it's about this time that a new protocol enters onto your interface,
Of course.
the index,
Love to hear it.
index protocol.
Ooh.
Now you have access to it. And this actually started to, you began to see the words kind of calibrating onto your screen after you had that nostalgic feel at the castle, and it just finally calibrated.
After seeing Cygnus and Victor
Yes.
and feeling
What the
deja
fuck?
vu,
Hmm.
now I get access to the index.
Yeah, it took a little bit of time.
What have you done?
What have you done?
Can we get rated R flashing on the screen when he goes to flash everybody for?
Well, it's certainly the back, like when we do the cartoon, it's or the anime. We're looking at it from behind as
Yeah.
we're not seeing the front.
Yeah.
It's just the
You could-
towel. We're seeing the towel.
trench coat.
Yeah, the trench coat.
Trench coat.
Raj is doing a reality check on himself to see if what he smoked was actually stronger than he thought.
Yeah, that's a fair point. So the index protocol is available to you as you say this, and Nimble looks and says, "What am I supposed to do with this?"
Oh, that sucks. To which case I'll say, take me to your leader.
Have you thought about going to the castle walls and showing them this?
We were too late.
I can write a letter. Do you
There's-
want to go to the castle wall? I can't go into the castle. I can't tell any of my soldiers to enter the city at this point. So,
Who do you report to?
well,
Raj asks.
um,
I'm sorry, Raj. If I was sitting next to you, this would be a lot easier. I keep thinking that. Yeah.
Blame Helene.
I report to Thalgrim.
Falgrim? What's his rank?
Doomhammer?
He would be a captain.
Okay, where's the captain?
He's on the garrison behind me. It's slightly taller than mine. He likes to
Yeah,
he likes to
okay.
brag.
It's
Right,
a
right.
penis thing.
Raj, we need to go to the captain to try to get him to mobilize his troops against.
Let me be clear. There's no mobilizing troops. The captain doesn't make that call. The lieutenant does not make that call.
Raj, you have to convince him.
But we have to try. So we.
Where do you want us to mobilize our troops to? We're at peace
Lieutenant
talks right now.
Kendall, we will not be peaceful in a matter of moments. Can you please escort us
You
to
or you won't
Wait,
be
Raj.
peaceful, or other people won't be peaceful?
Nimble? This is the time you need to really trust us and put your faith in a kind mind.
Into a person who just flashed me?
I
Raj.
did not flash you. All of my parts are still within my cloak.
Raj, you might suggest to them that I'm the key to the Dwendalian Empire's survival, and let them make of that what they will.
I've told you I will write you a letter to get you into the castle walls. You can get there, I'd imagine.
Raj, ask him if the strength of his resolve ends at the tip of a pen or the might within his soul.
By the way, as you're saying this to Raj, he's looking at you and just answering the questions. I can write you a letter.
That is unacceptable.
Well, then our
I need
business
you to-
is done.
I need you to take us to Valgrim right now.
He begins
And-
to walk back up the stairs, and he points with his hand at the tower, another few hundred yards away.
All right, then we head that way.
So that's why they call you Nimble, because you're a pussy. And
Damn, homie.
Oh my god.
How am I supposed to cut that?
You can't.
Did you take a tequila shot while we were gone? It went from 0 to 100.
I'm sweating.
You're doing great.
We pan to the other group. You guys, for the sake of brevity, you're in the sewers at this point. It's actually rather quiet. You do see that there are. Tell me this. Wait, Runeberg, you're with them, aren't you?
Where?
Oh,
Sorry.
Did you go in the sewers with them?
Yes.
Okay, then never mind. So, I mean, Runeberg is showing you where he last left off. Kind of shows you some of the bodies. Runeberg, the eerie feeling that you're getting is that certainly the bodies are still there, partly
Sure.
consumed, but there's nobody there. There's none of those demons that you had previously saw, those shadow-looking creatures. And there seems to be this eerie sense of just quiet, aside from some dripping into the sewage every so often.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, you guys are down there. Runeberg takes you, we'll say, several hundred feet, pretty much to where he was gutted last time.
I would say before we started going that way, Greymore would have asked Runeberg, "Hey, there, buddy. How many routes were there to the obelisk?
Do
Was
I
it
remember
one-
that?
Was it one main route, or was it several tunnels that led to it to a center point?" I guess would be the answer.
You don't know where the obelisk is. You don't even know if there's
Yeah.
an obelisk.
Well,
down
maybe I
there.
saw the direction the army was going.
Yeah,
Can I like?
you're
know
at
what I mean?
you're at that point. Like you know where they're
Okay.
going. There's a few different ways. Again, it's a labyrinth.
Okay.
Well, I think we would like to go to the obelisk then.
Okay.
Or where we think the obelisk would be.
Give me an intelligence check. If you're so insistent on there being an obelisk, then let's see if you can kind of figure out where it might be.
21.
21, nice. 10.
Very average tonight, guys. Sorry.
Intelligence.
First good roll, and it might be the last, but I'll take it.
Where is my intelligence? I always have a hard time finding it because I'm not very intelligent. 18, 19, 20.
Okay, so nice. A couple good rolls there. So with that, you kind of gather that an obelisk could be directly underneath the castle. So you figure you're not close to it at the moment, but yeah, maybe 30 minutes away if you don't get lost. you can get yourself under the castle, and then from there, who knows?
Is there
You're breaking up there.
the direction and like that Runeberg or Faubourg saw them going?
Mhm.
Okay.
How wide is the tunnel?
10 feet. I mean, they're pretty big.
Is it like 10 by 10 circumference?
Yeah,
Or is it more square? Like,
no, it's. I'm trying to think of the catacombs. Think of the catacombs and that the Romans made.
got it.
It's walkable.
I think we would just head in that direction as quietly as possible.
Okay.
Would be my guess. And once we start getting closer, maybe within like 50 feet, or when we can start hearing people, we'll probably stop and kind of reassess the area.
So let's get a group survival check here. DC.
That's not
For
good.
those of you at home.
I failed it.
Dirty, filthy, sewage-filled 20.
Nice.
The averageness continues with a 12.
9.
9, 12, 20. Hold on. That's an average of a 13.666 repeating, of course. You kind of get lost, and you feel like you're going in circles for a moment, and you kind of correct yourself. Sylvia, you figure out the pathway again. You realize you start marking the wall. This is we just did a big old circle here, and you begin to reorient yourself, and you begin to press forward. After about 20 minutes of just moving toward the castle, you begin to see that orange mist being pulled past all of you. Even those of you outside, it's almost like a gust of wind is pulling it toward the castle proper. And even in the sewers beneath, the orange mist moves past you, and Jace says, or Jace will cast a cantrip immediately as the orange mist disappears. And
But will he? Okay, I was like, but will he?
Yeah. Little thaumaturgy. Kind of cleans the side of the wall real quick. We've got our magic back.
Did
But
we
probably
want?
can't pass it outside of this. Okay.
Did we want to send message?
Ooh,
It's a good idea.
Talking to Jace,
Shoot
Yeah.
the flare, baby.
because
Yes.
Greymore doesn't.
Yes.
Intelligence Greymore is out right now, not dumb
Okay.
Greymore.
Yeah.
Jace is gonna put his hand on his ear, and you begin to see him kind of crafting a message with his eyes as they begin to dart around. It's about this time, Sylvie and Phoebe, you hear a message in your heads. I wish there was another way. We love you dearly.
Fucking god damn it, mans. Okay, Sylvie has a scroll of sending. And she's gonna look at Jace when he's done with that,
Mhm.
and just say, like, whisper, like, can you send a message to Elderon and the Sanctuary of Bahamut and see if they can get here and send us back up? Do they have a way here with a teleportation circle or something along those lines? And do they know of anyone who might have one of the vestiges we need? I have a very bad feeling. I assume that voice is our mother.
Mhm.
I don't think our mother was able to escape, and I think she's here. I'm going to use my scroll for her.
Now that the mist is gone, I'll send a message. Save your scroll. You might need it on a rainy day. And begins to send a message to Eldaron and the C1 characters. It's about this time as well that a rift of energy bursts through the sewers and knocks you all back. Those of you outside the wall, you see a beam shoot straight through the castle itself as the castle splits into two and peels over. You begin to hear screams by the tens of thousands, and you begin to hear or see people flooding out of the walls. Above the city itself, what might have looked like shimmers before were now appear to be dragons that were cloaked in invisibility. And they begin to lay siege onto the city itself as well. The soldiers on the outside begin to take their place, charging toward the castle, some staying back and getting into position and forming ranks. It has kicked off as that at least 8th obelisk has gone. By the time Jace is done with his sending spell to Eldaron, it's almost like he's still casting something, even though it doesn't take that long. And you can now tell Sylvie that he's receiving a message. And he looks back to you guys and says, as you all are on the ground, we have to run. The 8th and 9th have both been set off, and he kind of starts to grab you guys, and you begin to run for the exits of the sewer. In fact, forget it. He's going to cast Teleportation Circle, and he's going to get you guys to the outer perimeter of the city, if you so choose to jump through.
Any way that we can prevent the army? Can we block the manholes? Can we do anything to slow them down?
So you are seeing that the actual sewer system, or the catacombs, if you want to call it that, they are beginning to crumble. The top foundation is beginning to crumble in on itself.
Then through we go.
Okay. As you all make your way to the outside of the city. Well, a few things. The party is split at the moment. Unwise, unlucky, whatever it may be. But you guys are, at this point, Jace brings you out to the front entrance. So you're not too far off from each other. But at this point, the city is heavily under siege. The surprise attack has gone through. And it's about this time as well that a massive portal and rift open up. And coming through it, you see, caped in red, long horns out the front of the head, and just the winningest grin. You see Asmodeus begin to walk out as he looms about 15 feet tall, not looking at anyone in particular, but he is going to look up. He's going to cast a meteor swarm onto the city, and then he's going to cast Death Ray onto soldiers, and it begin to immediately annihilate people in his immediate area. As you all are at the front of the city, let's see, real quick. I'll give Galileo, Raj, and was it just Galileo and Raj out there?
Phoebe.
Phoebe, thank you. Galileo, Raj, and Phoebe. As you watch the beam go up and the city begin to be engulfed, I'll give you 60 seconds to figure out what you want to do. The orange mist is gone. You can use spells. What would you do? And this is right about the time where Nimble kind of got pissy with you guys. And someone may or may not have called him a pussy.
Yeah, I'm pushing Nimble over the railing to his demise. No. Should we run for the front gate? What other option do we have?
Phoebe wouldn't have been near Raj or Galileo. Like, I was in a completely separate camp, correct?
No, you were in the same area. You just talked to the guys at the front. They just went a dozen feet behind you.
Galileo, I think we need to get down to Phoebe and proceed to get out of here.
I will. Okay, I will abandon my previously shed clothing and grab your arm and run you towards Phoebe.
And Phoebe's just trying to kind of get eyes on Raj and Galileo. I think that she's just going to cast Sending to Sylvie very quickly and let her know where I am. Just be like, with Sanctuary of Bahamut troops, please, you're all I have left.
Who are you talking to? You talking to
Sylvie.
Okay.
And as soon as Raj and Galileo are in Phoebe's eye line and they can see her and she can see them, I think that she takes off in a fucking sprint towards the front gate. Not knowing that they're there, but knowing that Sylvie's last known location was in the tunnels, and she's just running as hard as she can back towards, assumedly, the tunnels.
Makes sense.
Is the big bad, is he inside the castle walls or is he outside?
He's outside. He's casting on the inside. So as you guys begin to run back towards the front entrance, you see a smaller portal open right outside the castle walls, and that would be you watch as Jace pops out, Runeberg, Sylvie, and the rest pop out.
Got it.
And Runeberg. There's no more than that. But you all come through. You guys begin to run toward them. We'll say that you're about 50 feet away, and that's when Asmodeus enters through a much larger portal. And again, as he's casting these things and casting Death Ray off to the sides, a rift opens up again, a much larger one this time. And all you hear are chains whipping, whipping, whipping. And looming over the city in this kind of blackened, almost like a storm, a tornado, if you will, just rummaging through and starting to hit the city from above as well. You guys are just about 100 feet from Asmodeus at this point.
Ew.
Your group is together. Asmodeus kind of looks down in your direction. Smiles.
I was gonna say I give him the finger, but I don't really want to do that.
Phoebe's also just, but not actually.
Just keep hearing All Star by Smash Mouth in my head on repeat.
I just do one of these, Jordan.
You watch as almost like just the briefest of glances, almost like you're a bug on the windshield. He just pushes his hand in your direction, and this black ray heads out in all of your direction. In your final moments, I'll go person by person. What is the last thought that goes through your mind during this time? Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
I was like, I'll go first. I don't care.
Only shooting stars.
Right there.
Particularly appropriate. It's a cool place, but they say it gets colder. You're bundled up now.
Greymore would head and he would actually turn inwards to his mind and try to keep everything together and go towards the friend that he made from his last therapy session of the purple-eyed Greymore, and then kind of why didn't he kind of warn me about this? And then as the final thought be who's the sixth Greymore? Because he still doesn't know who that one is, because he was warned there was two of them.
Looks at you and says, I tried to protect you. and that kind of just looms in your mind. Who is next?
Okay.
Raj, go ahead.
So immediately the party flows through Raj's mind, and just as quickly as a blink, the Raven Queen is then there. Raj's family not even included in the fast thought. And Raj would just say that, would plead with the Raven Queen that this group is not done fighting, and they'll go down swinging if need be, but there's more to this group than this moment.
Who would like to go next?
Runeberg will probably just close his eyes and accept his fate. Because he doesn't know anything about magic, but he knows he doesn't have it.
I think that Phoebe would just reach out and grab Sylvie's hand and squeeze it really tight. And just... Tim. Toujours.
Sylvie would kind of look sideways at her sister and just kind of repeat, Timothy. And she would think as hard as she can to Xerxes. And she would say, I will fight for you if you can prove that there's still good here. And just like think as hard as she can to Xerxes in this moment.
Okay. Galileo, I hope Smash Mouth was not your your last thought.
No, it's all I got. But I also, do I have any memory across any of the time in my brain where we survived this? I hadn't used a portent in a while, so I was gonna say I just use a portent and it doesn't work. But
You have the index protocol.
oh, okay. Let me access that. Let's try that in my final moments.
Okay. As you begin to process that.
Yeah.
Okay.
What does it mean? What does it all mean, Basil? I switched to Austin Powers from Smash Mouth.
Yeah, that's fair. Same
It's a good
era,
coping mechanism.
so that's good.
It's our final moments, guys. We should all be so lucky.
How great would it be to die in the 90s?
Oh.
So, okay. As this beam begins to rush toward you all, you...
I tell him I could use a little fuel myself.
It's almost like the scene in Rogue One where they sit on the beach. I think they sit on the beach. I haven't seen it in so long, but they sit on the beach as the end is near. As some of you hold hands, some of you close your eyes, some of you pray. As that moment hits, you hear a slight rift, and you see just this large shadow cast across the land above Asmodeus, as it looms high above. And for those of you who have your eyes up, you see what appears to be the largest dragon you've ever seen. You also hear whizzing past your ears an arrow that has attached to it a counterspell that dissipates in front of you. Behind you, as a portal opened up, you see atop of a blue dragon a woman with brown hair, blue and platinum down the side of her face, riding on top of a blue dragon as she counterspells, hits, and as that portal goes away, you see another portal and another portal open up as you guys begin to turn, and the rest of the crew begins to enter. And that large dragon looming above is none other than the Platinum Dragon as he makes his way toward the Chained Oblivion in the sky. And as the numbers begin to even out, it fades. We are in the beginning of the Great Calamity. This is the opening battle of the Great Calamity. At this point, we are going to pan forward 1 year as this battle has ended.
Our new characters, I guess they probably all died.
We are going to pick up at the Sanctuary of Bahamut in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to have you guys level up to 10.
Oh.
And we will pick up next time in Campaign 3 Part 2, The Great Calamity.
Okay.
My God.
Damn.
What?